Hello.
Oh, hello. I already have it on, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was finishing my game. Let me change from speaker to headset. It was really raining hard earlier.
Yeah, I had to get delivery because I couldn't walk out in it.
What kind of weather do you like?
What kind of weather do I like?
Yeah.
Uh, like around 20 Celsius is good. That's what I like. No
How
rain, of
about
course.
no rain?
No.
Okay. I used to hate rain, but now I like it.
Well, I don't have a car anymore, so it's a bit harder to get around. What?
Can you share screen? Wait, are you
Oh, whoops.
talking then? I actually tried out the new energy drink. 16 Fort.
What was it called?
16 Fort.
I don't know that one.
White one.
Oh, the white one.
Yeah.
Oh, I had that one earlier, like a few weeks ago, the first day we saw the Hot 6 commercial. It was pretty good.
Oh, my countdown is such. Okay, I'll pause. Okay. You need to close the window. So. Hold.
Fighters have engaged the enemy.
Hello StarCraft fans, it's time for some more ASL action. I am Nyoken, of course joined by Scan. Today it's Group C, we're going to have a Protoss versus Zerg. It's going to be Snow versus Hero. Snow always does very well in the ASL, but Hero is someone that I was not really expecting to go as far as he's gone so far, and he's looking very good. He obliterated his round of 16 group. We got to see him just decimate a lot of the Terran players, but going up against a Protoss player like Snow, he's going to have a lot of his work cut out for him. So, Scan, what are your thoughts on this particular match?
Since Hero made it into round of 8 as a first player in round of 16 Group D, that was a tough group, but Hero actually made it through, and he has the map choice for the first and the third map, and he picked the hidden track for the first. I forgot what was the third one. Maybe it was the ultimate stream for the third one. So it might be a bit hard for Snow in the beginning because hidden track, it might be easy to take. It might be easy to take a third expansion as Protoss, but whenever the game starts to go really long and Hero starts to divide all those army into half, like splitting up the army and rotating a couple of army here and there, then I don't think Snow will be able to take the fourth expansion anyways in the super late game. So Snow might have to do some kind of aggression or show some great strategies to beat Hero in the first game.
Yeah, the first 3 maps are going to be all the new ASL maps. It's Hidden Track, Ultimate Stream, and Ascension. I can't remember what the last 2 are. I think one of them is Fighting Spirit. So we're going to get to see all of the new strategies that these players have planned out on the new maps. I'm thinking back to what Snow did on previous ASL maps that were kind of weird. What instantly comes to mind is Whiteout, and that map seemed like a nightmare for Protoss and Zerg versus Protoss. Yet somehow Protoss Snow ended up having really solid builds. I'll be quiet for this introduction here.
어떤 듀오가 구성이 되느냐에 따라서 많이 떨려요. 큰일 났습니다. 오히려 잡아내면서 취재.
ASL Season 11 8강.
Yeah, so as I was saying, what instantly comes to mind when I think of Snow on weird maps is Whiteout, and he had a really clever build on there, like 8-gate with Reaver, and I think we may see something like that, since you were also mentioning that Hidden Track is a really hard late-game map for Protoss. But we're going to be going into the interviews, so let's see what questions they have planned for our players.
과연 오늘 경기를 앞두고 있는 선수들은 어떤 생각을 가지고 있는지 경기장 간단히 이야기 나눠보는 시간 갖도록 하겠습니다. 조일장 선수와 장윤철 선수 만나보시죠. 안녕하세요.
We're going to be meeting up with Hero and
네, 먼저
Snow.
조일장
Hello.
선수 이 8강에 진출했을 때 승자 인터뷰에서
When you made it into round of 8,
선수들이 워낙 다 잘하기 때문에
as a first player in round of 16 Group D,
토스전을 극복해보고 싶다라고 말씀을 하셨어요.
and during the interview from the previous interview, you said that you wanna overcome playing against Protoss. That a lot of people think that you're really good at Zerg versus Protoss, but you say you're not confident to play against Protoss, and now you're facing a Protoss player in round of 8. How do you feel? And Hero is answering that
네, 또
he did
8강 조가 완성됐을
practice
당시에
somewhat, but
많은
he
분들이
thinks
장윤철 선수의
this
반응을 좀
with this new
살펴보기 위해서
ASL map,
방송을
it might be a
들어간 걸로
bit
알고
tough
있는데
for him to make
장윤철
it
선수
through to
조일장 선수와의
semi-final.
만남이 성사되고
So
나서
he will still try his best to make it through. And how about you, Snow?
하고 싶었어가지고요.
And Snow is saying that
저버전 제가
he really wanted to play
PBZ.
PBZ. He didn't want it to play PvP.
극복해보자 하고 싶었고 16강 때랑 똑같아요.
And a lot of people
지옥에 떨어진 느낌으로.
remembers Snows as a bad PBZ player, and he wants to prove that he's also good at PBZ in this ASL Season 11.
24강, 16강
He wants to prove to everyone.
그래서 많은 분들이 이번 8강도 좀 쉽게 어렵지 않게 통과할 수 있지 않을까라는 기대를 좀 가지고
A lot of
계세요.
fans have some
조일장 선수
expectation
생각은
that you might play really well in this round of 8 playing against Protoss against Snow in this round of 8 because you have been playing really well online.
오늘
But Hero is answering that
사람들이 기대하는 만큼
his recent ZVP,
올라가는 모습 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
he's also not feeling
강인철
confident
선수가
enough
지옥에 떨어졌다는
to
마음으로
have a
임하겠다라는
nice
말이
win
전혀
rate like
과언이
the
아니라고
previous
생각이
season
드는
or
게
like in the
지난
past
시즌
before he did
박상현
his
선수를
military
만났고
service.
이번 시즌도 조일장
So,
선수를 만나셨어요. 이 저그전을
he still wants to
극복하는
show-
모습을 보여주고 싶은 마음이
he still wants to
굉장히
perform
간절하실
great
텐데
games for the
어떻게 좀
audience.
준비를 해오셨을까요?
일단
And Snow,
사람들이 다 제가 질 거라고 하더라고요.
she was asking
좀 더 오기가 생겨서.
네.
how well did you
많은 선수를
prepare?
섭외해가지고
And Snow is
준비를
answering that
했어요.
he's
사람이
talking
많이
about
하고
the
다양하게
fans
하고
first.
그렇게
The
준비했고
fans think that he will get eliminated in round of 8.
꼭 해내겠습니다.
저그전 다전제
Snow really
연습하실
wants
때
to overcome
승률은 좀 어떠셨나요?
with this PBZ win rate.
승률이야 뭐 저는 늘 안 좋아요. 늘 한 30% 누구랑 해도 30%고요.
No matter who
대회
faces,
때
Snow
좀
always
사실
have like
모르겠네요.
30% win rate against Zerg.
지금까지의 8강 첫 번째
And
경기,
he
두 번째
wants
경기가
to-
모두 좀 3대
he wants to have a
0으로
higher win rate.
원사이드한 스코어가 나왔기 때문에 많은 분들이 이번 경기만큼은 좀 풀세트까지 가지 않을까
Last week we had a one-sided game of day 1 and day 2.
오늘 경기
We really want to see some
몇 세트 정도가 될 거라고 생각하세요?
great long run of a best of 5
네,
series
좀
today.
뒤로 갈수록 맵이 좀 안 좋더라고요.
And
해보니까 그래서
What are your thoughts about this best of 5 series? And
첫
Hero
번째
is
세트가
answering
가장
that
중요할 것 같다.
the
장윤철
first map
선수는
will be very
몇 세트가
important
가장 중요할
for
거라고 생각하세요?
for him
세트 스코어는
to
몇 정도를
start leading
예상하고
the
계시는지
score
궁금해요.
and make it into semi-final because
제가
all those
세트가 일단 제일 중요하다고 생각하고
behind map, like the fourth map and the fifth map,
제가
he thinks he
3대1로
will not
이기지
play really
않을까
well.
생각합니다.
3대 1로
네.
이기지 않을까.
And
생각보다 또
Snow
풀세트까지
is talking
갈
about the
것 같지는
score.
않다는
Snow
생각을
said
하고
that he
계시나
will
봐요.
make it into semi-final, beating
가면은
Hero
머리가
3-1.
아파지더라고요. 제가 16강 때 매번 최종전에서 올라갔는데
He's talking about the previous tournament
두
that
선수
he
모두
made it into round of
1세트가
6.
가장 중요한
round of
승부처가 될 것
no,
같다고
he made it into
말씀하신 만큼
quarterfinal.
엄청난 좀
and he
빌드를
always had to
준비해
play
왔을
round of
거라는
16
생각이
decider
드는데 끝으로
match.
두 선수의 8강 각오를 좀 들어보겠습니다. 조일장 선수 한 말씀.
Any last word for Hero?
일단
To your fans and Hero, and Hero is saying
보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
he has
장윤철
prepared
선수.
a lot. He will try to perform his
잘하는
best and
선수랑 하는 게
show a
좋아요.
great game.
그래서
Snow's
이번에 잘하는
last
선수
word,
만났기
he
때문에
is saying
먹고 올라가겠습니다.
he really likes to play against
선수의
strong
치열한
players
8강 세 번째 경기
and show
기대하도록
how
하겠습니다.
strong
인터뷰
he is.
고맙습니다.
and he will make it into semi-final as well.
하식스와
thank you
LG
for the interview.
울트라디오가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 11 8강 세 번째 경기 조일장 선수와
We're now
장윤철
finished
선수의
with the
경기.
interview.
과연 세 번째 4강 진출자 선수는
We'll
어떤
be
선수가
going-
될지 두 선수의 경기
be moving
지금부터
into
함께하시죠.
The ASL Season 11 round of 8, day 3, Hero versus Snow.
And we are getting a look at the maps. As we mentioned before, the first three are all of the new maps in the ASL. Hidden Track, the first pick for Hero, then Ascension picked for Snow, then Ultimate Stream, then Eclipse, and then Fighting Spirit, the last map. You know that Hero's not happy about that because we've talked about how hard it is for Zerg on Fighting Spirit. But these first few maps should be very good for Hero. As you mentioned, I also agree with you that Snow's going to have a hard time once it goes to mid-late game because 4th base, where do you take as Protoss? It's so far away from all the other bases. There's also tons of pathways that the Zerg player can take and go for backstabs constantly all game long, so it's going to be a really hard map. Now, Ultimate Stream, we've had some crazy maps or crazy games on there. What comes to mind instantly is that mini game, or the game with Mini,
yeah.
where he had a huge army, but like the Lurker Hydra contain was massive, yet he was able to somehow pull out a victory.
Yeah, wasn't that a Mini versus Queen in round of 16, I believe? Oh, no, was it in round of 20? No, round of 16, yes, it has to be round of 16. So it was a very impressive game by Mini that he was able to break that lurker contain as you mentioned, and he really had an amazing upgrade with the double forge inside of his main base.
Yet now we've had other interesting games on Ultimate Stream. The PvP we had last week between Best and Mini was also quite interesting. These maps really do give a lot of new strategies. A strategy I've never seen in PvP even, the Reaver Mass Zealot style. I have never seen that before. Now you were talking about how Hidden Track is a hard map for mid-game, late-game Protoss. You think we're going to see... Do you think Snow could pull something like the Sins build we saw in Eclipse round of 24 with the two Robos just rallied Reavers across the map?
Maybe Walking Reaver might not... I don't think we might not going to see the Walking Reaver strategy, but there's a slightly of a potential of doing like a speed shuttle and doing the Reaver harassment. You know that I played against Snow in round of 24. His Reaver micro with the speed... I think he had a speed shuttle and it was super insane. Like even if I got my Goliath ready to snipe his shuttle, he's always ready and paying attention to pull his shuttle back. So I think if he has prepared for the Reaver strategy, he might be going for the speed shuttle and try to do some of a harassment and pick up some of units here and there and snowball from there.
Yeah, if we see Reaver play, this is the guy you want piloting the Reaver, because I don't know if I've ever seen Snow miscontrol a Reaver. It just is ridiculous the amount of damage he can get done. And Hero is going to have to keep that in mind. And with Hidden Track having so many small chokes, all of a sudden, units like the Reaver become way more cost effective. We'll see what Snow wants to opt into. I'm trying to think back. Have we seen a single ZVP from Hero in all of ASL this season? I have to actually go look back into the round of 24. Oh, we did.
Who did he play against?
Oh, no, actually, we haven't seen his Zerg versus Protoss all season. He's only played versus Terran and then the one game versus Effort, which he took down 1-0. So we really don't even know what Hero's style is going to be. You know, there are differing styles in the pro scene. We have Larva that goes for the defensive style. We have players like Queen that go for like 973 sometimes. And then we have players like Soma and Sulky who go low econ like 2-hatch meta style. So I'm curious what Hero's going to pull out here. You're getting a look at the stats. This is pretty consistent stats here. Not only does he have a lot of games played, 72, over 50% in all matchups.
That is very decent. And people might be thinking having the 50% win rate in a competitive scene, it is very impressive because it's like either you win the game or lose the game. Like if you play 2 games, you will win at least 1 game. So it is still a high chance of being a good player in this competitive scene. And Hero has a nice, decent stats.
Yep, now we get to see Snow's stats, and he's got over 60% versus Protoss and Terran. Surprisingly, the Zerg statistics is a little low, sitting at 37%, because even though 973 was popular like a year ago, Snow seemed to be one of the first people to figure out how to stop it, going with that mass, heavy Zealot style, cutting the gas at his natural for a long time, really focusing on his mineral econ. I'm a bit surprised that statistic is as low as it is. Looks like both players are ready, so we're going to be getting into our first game of Group C Day 3 of the round of 8 momentarily. It's going to be between Hero and Snow. First map is going to be on Hidden Track. We're going to see what Zero has in store for our... Why do I keep calling him Zero? Hero has in store for our Protoss player.
And just notice Hero is wearing the same shirt as before. No thank you.
Right, and in the bottom left in the blue, our Zerg player, it is Hero. And in the bottom right in the yellow, we have our very deadly CJ player. It is Snow. So we've got horizontal spawns, so it's going to be close rush positions for both players. However, You know, I've asked you about spawns on like Ascension, and you were talking about how, like, for Terran, for example, if they are vertical versus Protoss, it's hard for them to expand to a third base. Now, with this being horizontal spawns, all of a sudden that eliminates the third base potential for Snow, right? Like, he can't go to the left side and take that base easily, can he? He has to go top, middle, right?
Yeah, he has to take the top middle, as you mentioned, the 3 o'clock expansion. But I kind of like the spawning of both of the players because, you know, if Hero was located at the 11 o'clock side and Snow was 5, then he has a choice to either expand towards the 6 o'clock or 3 o'clock, but then he will be in a dilemma where he should be expanding towards for the 4th nexus. But if this matchup has to be horizontal or vertical, then it's going to be easier to take a 4th expansion, just like taking the 3rd expansion at the 3 o'clock side and then a 4th expansion at the 1 o'clock natural.
We see that Hero is going to scout Snow first, and just looking at the scouting pattern of that Overlord, I really thought that the probe was going to go down to bottom middle, and then if it doesn't see the Overlord, start going top right or mid left. We see that often on maps like Fighting Spirit or Polypoid, for example. Meanwhile, doesn't really affect this game at all because Snow still ended up going to the left side, still gets a first scout off, and he sees that this is a 12 hatch from Hero. Now, we've talked about 12 hatch versus 11 hatch. So what's the difference here with this 12 hatch? It's a bit more greedy, but is he going to get punished by this gateway?
It might some have a potential to get some harassment by the Zealot for Snow because the rush distance for Hidden Track is nearly the same as a Fighting Spirit rush distance. So with that gateway opening first, and I'm not sure how fast the Zealot is going to be. Did he go for the 9 gateway or 10 gateway? That's going to be a question for us. And he's finally getting out the Zealot, taking the shortest route. So he's going to be sending the Zealot from the bottom side. So I can see what Hero really wants to do. Hero sent out the drone scout to delay the Zealot from coming to his base, but he missed that Zealot coming.
Yeah, that's one of the intricacies of Hidden Track is that you can go down that ramp. You don't have to necessarily go through the middle of the map, and that drone is just out in no man's land, really did not affect this Zealot movement at all, and it's going to get into the main right when Lings have just started, so he may be able to get a couple kills. Surprised that he didn't try and focus down that drone, but he's going to force a drone pull off on half the mineral line for now. Oh, he might get that probe!
I think he will. Yeah, he will. So this is the downside about going 12 hatchery. He doesn't have, he didn't get the Zergling out on time, and he's already losing mining time and lost the probe, lost the probe and the drone for both players. So it doesn't really matter. It's already losing a couple of mining time and forcing him to make more Zealots and more Zerglings and Zealots, and he's not going to be able to make Extractor at all.
Yeah, we did see that he's taking a 3rd hatch at mid-left. That drone is dangerously low, but so are these 2 Zealots. And this mineral line has a slightly larger gap. The Lings are able to surround the Zealots much easier. Ends up cleaning up the Zealots, but of course, he did end up sniping a single drone. Now, Nexus went down, and now he's going for a Forge follow-up. Cybernetics is going to start pretty soon. And that is a tiny choke, and I don't think that a Ling counterattack is going to do much damage, but that is a decent chunk of Lings. I think that's upwards of maybe 11 or so, and Snow may have not understood what was going on, and these Zealots may actually fall to these Lings.
Yeah, that is definitely a lot of Zerglings, and Snow realized that he can't really hold on with this number of Zerglings with the 2 Zealots, so he is buying quite a lot of time with the 1 Zealot at the Hero's Natural. But the gateway is about to fall, and 1 Zealot, ooh, nice save.
Oh, that Zealot was so low, he may even get this gateway, and that's a big pickoff if he gets the gateway, obviously, because it opens up the front door. But also, I don't know if he ended up building a Cybernetics in his main, and that means that he's not going to be able to build one for a long time if he didn't start that. We see he's mining gas, and I see a small building at the bottom part of his base, so maybe he started it? Yeah, he did, luckily, just barely in the nick of time.
I think both of the players were making a little bit of a mistake here and there, but I think Hero is not balancing that resource really well and lost quite a lot of time of making drones, and He even lost to start the lair attack, so now it looks like he's gonna go for 3 hatchery into Hydra Den without lair.
Yeah, this is going to be a Hydra play. Whether it's going to be a bust, an all-in, we still are going to have to wait to see. He's got a decent amount of lings, which makes me think that this could be an actual bust. Meanwhile, Stargate is halfway done. Sayre's going to be coming out pretty soon, and he's going to see exactly what Hero is going for. And when he sees that there's no lair, all of a sudden he's going to have to scramble to put down a lot of gateways. And that battery really is going to affect him quite a bit, because that means he cannot put cannons there.
That is also true, but when he was defending that gateway and trying to put down the cannon, remember that he had a 1 zealot at Hero's main base. He probably saw how fast or how late that lair attack is, so he might be suspecting that this is going to be the Hydraless combo, because the game has been going for 6 minutes long and he still doesn't get to see the Zergling speed. It's not done. That scouting probe is still alive, and with this number of a zealot at the 6 o'clock side, with the 4 zealot, he will be able to see Hydraless soon.
Yeah, he sees the Hydras, and even though this is a decent amount of zealots at like 4 or 5, remember, 2 of those zealots are dangerously low because of the lings in the early game. So really, there's only about 3 zealots that have a decent amount of HP. You can see that the first zealot actually already died, and that is a lot of units coming out for Hero. So this might be an all-in bust, but he has a lot of econ behind it. He could put down more hatcheries. We see he's approaching even 600 minerals.
So I guess Hero might have made more than 973 worker count. So he does have quite a lot of minerals, and finally spending a couple of minerals here and there. But that is quite a lot of Zerglings and Hydraless. Snow really needs to finish those cannon on time, and I think he will. Looks like the Hydraless range has not complete, so those Hydraless cannot really pick up the cannons.
Yeah, but as I stated before, this battery means that cannons can't be built there, and look at the distance between the Hydras and the cannons. They're easily going to pick off this forge. Probably could pick off the gateway again. Probes are still pulled off because he still doesn't know exactly what this is. Sayres are still alive. I can see them on the minimap. Don't know how many kills they've gotten onto Overlords, but already this Hydra play has done a lot of damage. We see 4th hatch and 5th hatch going for Hero because, as he mentioned, his econ is stellar. And back in the main of Snow, I don't really see many big big buildings being put down those gateways, so he doesn't have that many. He doesn't have much production available to him.
No, it might be in a little bit of a dangerous situation here. Only 3 cannons remaining, only a single zealot. I don't think he will be able to hold, or will he be? We don't see Hero sending out the reinforcement because of the 2 Corsairs are still buying quite a lot of time at the 9 o'clock, and Hero's natural as well. But Hero is trying to squeeze out all of those extra army, the reinforcement, and Snow is in a little bit of a trouble, but really be able to hold off.
The probes are saving the day, but that means that they're not mining the natural. We know that Hero has a lot of econ behind this. He's not all in. He can easily drone up. Another cannon's going to fall. The probes are falling also. And this is a nightmare for Snow. He's barely holding on. And because of all the chaos, look at how much gas he's floating. He needs minerals right now.
And we can also see that the supply count, that Hero has the advantage with the supply count, and he has all those of a hatchery ready, and they're all finished morphing. So even if this Hydraless bust fails, he still gets the late game transition with Master, but I guess Hero just will end the game here.
Well, he ended up ending that quickly, and I thought with the 12 hatch, and after losing the first drone to a Zealot, that he was not going to be in as good a position as he really was. He got his econ rolling, he picked off the gateway. It forced a battery out, which really Snow didn't want, and that's going to be game 1 heading over to Hero. And even in the interviews, both players were talking about how important game 1 is, so already Hero's going to be feeling really good about that.
It was slightly off in the beginning that both of the players were not spending the money on time and getting all those attacks on time, but Snow was doing well, getting the Stargate much quicker than a Zerg attack, like how late Hero's lair was. So Hero knew that he can't really go the lair attack, and deciding to go for no lair Hydra, and that was a very good decision by Hero. and he's going to take the first game.
Yeah, and I'm a bit worried for Snow here because Hidden Track, well, maybe it's a hard map for Protoss, I'm not very sure, but Ascension doesn't make me think that this is a great Protoss map either. Like, you have two angles to attack as Zerg, there's a lot of high ground they can sit on, so I'm really feeling it for Hero this series. He's up 1-0. Of course, we're going to go into a quick break, and then we're going to come back with Game 2, see if Snow can turn it around and tie up this series. Alright guys, we are back. We just saw...
한식스와 LG 울트라기어가
Gonna go
함께하는
into that
ASL
ASL
시즌
Tumblr.
11 8강 세 번째 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 1세트는 조일장 선수가 승리를 거뒀는데요. 두 번째 세트 이어가기 전에 온라인으로 시청하고 계실
Should talk about
시청자분들을 위해
we
준비된
just finished
이벤트
that game number 1. But
자,
before
먼저
we move on
ASL
to game number
공식
2,
방송국에서
we would like to
7시까지
introduce you
진행된
guys
승부
ASL
예측
Season 11
당일
event.
경기 승리할 것 같은 선수에게 투표하고
They
응원의
have
댓글을
been selling
남겨주시면
and also
추첨을 통해
giving out
ASL
ASL
텀블러
Tumbler.
보내드리도록 하겠습니다.
If you leave
자, 또
a
하나의
comment on
이벤트는
an
아프리카
ASL
TV게임의 e스포츠 SNS를
mainstream
통해
platform,
진행되는데요.
mainstream
시청
channel,
인증 이벤트입니다.
that who's going to
시청하고
make
계시는
it
사진을
make it
댓글로
through
남겨주시고 또
make it
추첨을
through to
통해서 ASL 텀블러와
semi-final.
우산 세트를
And if you
보내드리니까요.
get it
여러분의
right,
많은
if you
참여를
guess it right, then you
부탁드리겠습니다.
get the ASL Tumbler.
자, 첫 번째 세트는 조일장 선수가 승리를
for the
가져갔는데요.
first
과연
game,
이어지는 두
Hero-
번째 세트 조일장 선수가 2대 0을
Hero
만들어낼지
is going to be
아니면 장윤철
Hero
선수가
took the first
원점으로
game
승부처를 돌려놓을지
and start
양 선수의 두
with the
번째 세트
1-0.
계속해서 만나보시죠.
And let's see if Snow will be making a comeback from game number 2.
Yeah, so actually Tumblr is a word in my Korean book that I didn't realize that we had already learned. So for those of you that were confused what Tumblr is, it means water bottle or thermos. And so you actually are winning a water bottle and a umbrella is what they mentioned. So don't confuse this with Tumblr, the website. You're not getting some secret access to the Tumblr website. But yeah, we're going into game 2. This is gonna be Snow's pick. It's Ascension, if I remember correctly. And this map has a lot of high ground, a lot of different pathways. And we were talking about how hard Hidden Track was with all the different pathways. That I think that this is going to be another hard map for Snow, but it was his pick, so he must have something planned. So let's get into game 2 between Hero and Snow. Right, in the top middle are Blue Zerg up 1-0. It is Hero, and bottom right, red Protoss player. It is Snow. So what do you think about Ascension here for Protoss? Is this a good map to pick for Snow?
I guess he is confident enough to play on the Ascension map because he played against Larva and it was like the most the longest game that we have gotten in ASL Season 11 of PBZ, and it was very impressive that Snow got all those upgrades all the way to 332, I believe, and I'm excited to see how Snow is going to show off his late game style in this Ascension map, because Ascension it is somewhat easy to take the third expansion and the fourth expansion. You kind of just leaning all the way to the side to the wall and take the expansion easily, and the rush distance is also very far, so Hero might not go for the Hydraless bust once again, just like the last game.
But we see the gateway coming down for Snow. Remember, and this is a 9 gate, by the way. We've seen some Forge expands this ASL, but looks like Snow's decided that he's content with going for the gateway. Now the Overlord missed the probe, and this probe might be able to get there. No, it's not going to get there in time to deny this. But again, this is a 12 hatch opener from Hero, so he's decided that 12 hatch is the way to go, despite knowing that this is most likely a Zealot pressure build. And Probe's going to come in here and see this, of course. And it's going to be identical to what happened last game so far.
Pretty sure from the last game, I think Snow has gone for the 10 gateway from previous game, but this time this is a 9 gate, so it is going to be slightly faster of getting that first Zealot out on the map. And we know that this is not an 11 hatchery, this is a 12 hatchery by Hero, so the spawning pool might not, it's not going to be finished on time before those Zergling will be popping out and start denying all those Zealot harassment. But will Hero be able to delay that first Zealot with the scouting drone? That's going to be our key point of watching this game. But before that, that is a lot of spitting the drone on the top of that probe, and about to put the hatchery at the third expansion at 10 o'clock now.
Yeah, Probe doing a good job to block it, but taking a hit almost every single time. Hero's doing a good job. Oh, it still has half health somehow. Now he gets the hatchery down. First Zealot is already across the map. We do see that Snow has gone into the Nexus after the second Zealot. Probe still has almost full health, so it's going to regen those shields. And this time around, the drone did a good job to block. Yeah, buying a couple of seconds there.
Yeah, I guess Snow realized that all those drone blocking the path pretty much bought a lot of time, that Snow decided not to get inside of Hero main space just like the last game. But this time, I feel like he's going to abuse that terrain. This is so narrow, it's like a 32 pixels I believe. It's only one unit can go through.
Yeah, it is a tight choke, and that means that Lings are going to have a rough time dealing with the Zealots. The Lings acted like they were going for a backstab, and you can see that Snow instantly moved into position, but now he may be too far, and the Lings might be able to catch these Zealots on the backside. He catches one of them.
Nice. Picking up one by one. That's a nice micro by Snow using the probe.
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing play from Hero. He gets rid of both of the Zealots while taking minimal losses, and he even spots that Zealot on the high ground, but he just walks by it.
Okay, he sees that sneaky Zealot just got going inside of Hero's main base, and Snow will be seeing there's going to be a lair attack on the way at the natural. So he knows this is not going to be the Hydraless opening most likely, and one Zealot top of the mineral, using that small area, buying quite a lot of time, picking up a couple of Zerglings.
Yeah, but without the probe, not able to get as many kills as he's looking for. Meanwhile, Cybernetics about halfway done. We see that Hero this time around not going for that Hydra Den. He's going for the standard lair follow-up. So he's going to be going into that Spire. Meanwhile, first cannon coming down, making sure that he is safe versus potential mass Ling Flood. But overall, this is a much better scenario so far for Snow. He didn't have to build that shield battery that was pretty much useless. He didn't lose his gate. Everything looks fine for him.
Ooh. I kind of like how Snow got that all those. So here's a little bit of differences of going of Stargate tech. Some people like to go with the Cybernetics core before the forge, and it looks like I think Snow has gone for the Cybernetics core into 4. We just saw that his photon cannon at the natural wasn't complete when he just started that Stargate. So that means the Cybernetics core was super fast. That means all those Stargate tech and then set up a Dune and all those tech that he has been spending for the resource and putting down the cannon as late as possible. So he's getting all those tech really nice.
Look at this stutter step micro on the Zealot. It is going to kill almost 3 Lings there. Really good control from Hero to take minimal losses. Meanwhile, Spire is about 75% done. As you mentioned, that Corsair is going to be coming out pretty soon. But the Spire timing is also pretty darn fast, so I don't think he's going to be losing an Overlord this time around. Citadel, I can't remember if that was close to finishing. I think it is.
I think it was just started when we just got to see on the screen. But we really need to look at what Hero is planning to do. Either is he going to put down the Hydra Den with the second extractor, or is he going to put down the third extractor ASAP whenever he gets enough money or number of drones he feels satisfied with. So whenever Hero, or I should say Zerg, gets that third extractor really fast before that Hydraless Den or Evolution Chamber, that means just like how Larva was playing in the previous game in round of 16, that he always make the fight Mutalisk into mass Scourge and constantly fight against the entire of Snow's Corsair. But that Corsair, the first Corsair, needs to be careful.
Well, the Scourges are slightly faster than the Sair. They may catch up and get this Sair, but just barely. He's going to get to his cannons in time. And I am looking in the bases of Hero to see if that third gas is going to come up, and we're going to see the Larva Muta Scourge style. So far, we don't see that. And again, Lings are getting a great surround on these Zealots, and the Zealots so far have done almost no damage. This is an amazing initial stage of the game for Hero. More Lings being flooded out. This may be... Well, is this going to be like a Muta Ling surround on these?
Yeah, we just saw that 700 gas disappear. We see that there's no Hydra Den, no Evolution Chamber, and we already see that third extractor started at the 10 o'clock side, the third base, so we can definitely assume this is going to be Muta into Scourge, how Larva was doing it in the previous round of 16 versus Snow. And yeah, he's now slowly pumping out drone, couple of Mutalisks.
That is great SimCity at the third base of Hero. A Zealot attack would do no damage. He is approaching the 8-minute mark, and Snow's zealot count is almost non-existent. It's 5. Really, Zerg isn't worried about 5 zealots at 8 minutes or 8:30 by the time they get across the map. Still, Snow doesn't know what this is. It could be Hydras, it could be anything really. He hasn't shown, or he hasn't been shown, the mutas. Now he's going to come in here and see, uh-oh, this is muta play, and these Corsairs instantly turn around. I'm not sure if they had +1 weapon going on air. Oh, maybe they do, because that Scourge died pretty quickly.
Well, one Scourge will connect, but that does some amount of great damage on the Mutalisk, but if Snow knows this is going to be Mutalisk with the mass Scourge in the probably next couple seconds or so, so he should be slowly backing up. He doesn't know where all those Scourges will coming from. It can be coming from the back side, and Mutalisk will be taking the damage from the front side. So whenever Zerg is going for Mutalisk Scourge combo like this and buying some time with those number of Mutalisks that he has made, products like Snow, he really can't keep those High Templar alive and save up the energy for the storm. He really needs to get the Archon on time, and he did. This is nice. And he's also keeping up the number of a Corsair. He's getting those Corsair number large.
Yeah, he's got like 7 Corsairs right now. You can see that that's a decent amount of Scourge, but nothing like the amount of Scourge that Larva built. So there is an opportunity for Archons and Corsairs to reign supreme at some point in the game. Supplies are so close, 105 to 99. If Zerg knew that, he would be feeling really, really good about his situation. Archon is taking a lot of damage. Zealots are even dying. And that's going to be a dead Archon even. It got no kill or really no damage onto those Mutalisks.
Yeah, I'm not sure where those Corsair were at. They finally got the great amount of Corsair count, but losing that first Archon for free, that wasn't really great for Snow. But now we can get to see Hero is slowly changing into mass Hydralisk. That means Snow also has to get the number of high Templars ready and save up some of the energy to throw some of the storms when he's taking the 3rd expansion at the 2 o'clock.
Well, I am loving Hero's position because he's dealt so much damage to the Zealot count. He's also eliminated the Archon, and because there's so many Mutas out, there's not that much Storm available, and he's already switching into Hydras. Meanwhile, he's going for an attack in the main with the Mutas. There's only 1 cannon at the bottom side. He picks that off and backs off. And Snow is going for a 3rd base, but he hasn't traded well the entire game. And this is a really fast 3rd base, too. He has no AoE. How does he stop an incoming Hydra attack?
Pretty situation for Snow at the moment because we can see there's only 2 or maybe maximum 3 High Templars out on the map, but Corsairs will intercept in the middle of the map. Scourge will get stormed by the High Templar, but one of the High Templars used that storm on the Scourge, so I wonder how he's going to hold off this Hydralisk wave.
Yeah, this is a lot of Hydras moving in, but at the same time, that's a lot of Zealots. But the Mutas are going to try and harass the main, but I guess they took a little bit too much damage because I saw a couple of them die to that single cannon. But this is so many Hydras. That's a decent storm, but Zealots are going to be attacking uphill into Hydras?
It's going to be a defending side for Snow, hugging that defense tower, the couple of cannons at the 2 o'clock side. I think Hero accidentally lost a couple of Mutalisks. We can see he has remaining 8. Oh! Okay, that's a big victory for Snow because all those Mutalisks are on a low HP, so Hero really can't use those Mutalisks, but that is still a lot of Hydralisks.
That is so many Hydras, and he baits out a storm, and I don't know how many more storms are available. Maybe 1, and that's it. And you can see that the Zealots are just taking so much damage. They're not even able to get a single hit off on the Hydras. That's a bit of a whiff with that storm.
And this is such a okay-ish position for Snow because he got the armor 1. Okay, that was
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is a good storm there.
That was an amazing storm, and there's a single DT that's been swiping and dealing a decent amount of damage, yet still, despite those great storms, the Hydras are still pushing through. He's going to back off now simply because the DT is going to get picked off because that Overlord comes in, but that was a great engagement from Snow. Amazing storms.
How well he hold up that high ground, fighting against that high ground of the Hydralisk. But now the next combo that Hero is planning to
Oh my
do is
gosh.
getting the lurkers on the high ground. So if you start getting all those contained by the number of lurkers, and Snow is not ready to switch to the Master Dragoon, and okay, so he knows that a couple of Hydralisks are making lurkers, so he knows the number of Hydralisks, the count is not that high. So that was a nice try, but there's still quite a lot of Hydralisks standing at the back.
Yeah, Snow's in trouble now. He's got a 25 supply lead, but if you look at his army comp, other than Templars and Zealots, what does he have on the ground? Not much. I don't see a single Dragoon even. I see an Observer out, but no Dragoons just yet. Meanwhile, Zealots are going to go for a counterattack. There's a couple in the middle of the map intercepting these Hydras, but Hero's content with continuing to push this third base. He's picking off so many Zealots that are just on hold position.
So that is one nice storm, and defending this third expansion with the cannon and using storms, that's nicely done. And I like how he's rotating a couple of his zealots and cutting off those reinforcements, and he's buying quite a lot of time in using all those storms on the lurkers Hydralisks. And we can see all those high ground lurkers, or I should say high ground army. The number of Hero right now has is getting low and low.
This is brutal, but at the same time, Snow has not been breached just yet. Now he's at almost a 50 supply lead. The Overlord got taken out. That means that the Observer cannot be picked off. And at some point, goons are going to start coming out, and Snow should be able to overrun this army. Meanwhile, Zealots and Archons are bleeding off, though.
Okay, finally, we can get to see some of the Dragoons out on the map. These Corsairs are somewhat out of position. We can see a couple of Zealots were rotated to the 9 o'clock side, and checking out whether Hero has the 4th expansion or not. So as soon as he figured out there's no expansion at the 9 o'clock side, he knows this is a semi all-in by Hero. He has gave up that hive tech. Hero is trying to finish the game with his lurker contain and constantly squeezing all of his resource with the Hydralisk. And I'm pretty sure he should have that +2 attack by now. The game has gone for the 15-minute long. So this is a very intense by both players. Snow really needs to defend his mineral, or I should say the 3rd expansion. He might going to lose that 3rd gas.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a macro slip from Snow, floating almost 2,000 minerals at this point. This might be what Hero needs to finally bust through. Meanwhile, on the left side of the map, Sayers, and I hear Zealots attacking the 3rd base. Half of the drone, almost all of the drones have been pulled there. This is going to essentially put Hero all in because he doesn't have that much econ anymore. Look at his supply, it's plummeted down to 80. Meanwhile, Snow's still strong at 130, and he's about to get supply blocked.
Yeah, Hero is in a little bit of trouble because he lost those mining time at 10 o'clock side. I think 10 o'clock side is still AFK with this number of... Okay, drones are now back into the minerals, so they are starting mining. And we can see Snow is already putting down the Nexus at the center of the map. So if we start holding off this securing that 3rd expansion at the 3 o'clock side, this is going to be looking great. We can see that +2 armor just got kicked in, and I'm pretty sure I don't think Hero has +2 Hydralisk weapon.
No, he missed that upgrade, and that means it's going to be a massive upgrade lead for Snow, and now doubling the supply of Hero. Snow has done it. He has saved his 3rd base, and not only that, feeling so confident he's taking his 4th base, and Hero, no 4th base in sight, and that 3rd base, I was looking at the minerals, it is dangerously low. It looks like half of it has already been mined out. Natural still looks pretty good. Main is probably getting pretty low for him too, but now it's going to be Snow on the move, and how does Hero stop this?
I have no idea, because we see Hero is stuck at 3 base mining, and we can see Snow is already putting down another Nexus and an simulator at the 1 o'clock side, so he's now going to secure that 5 base product soon. And one of the Dark Temples will be hiding at the 9 o'clock side and sees where the drone's moving to. That drone, okay, will not get picked off.
Yeah, BT does fall. Not a big deal though. As you mentioned, top right is being taken, so that's going to be a 5th base. Hero sees that the 4th base is up and running, and he's going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm in a bigger hole than I thought. He's going to try and go for a backstab, but Protoss is mirroring the movement, moving down to the bottom side at the same time. And he has a lot of stuff here. Luckily for Hero, there's another ramp, so Protoss can't engage it directly.
There's one thing good about the Ascension that the natural expansion has total 8 minerals. So I think if it was a normal map, I think Snow have lost this game. But since the Ascension map, the natural has an extra mineral field that you get the what is it? The resource boost in the middle of the game. So maybe that helped him to hold off this Hydralisk push in the middle of the game, and he was able to take another expansion as well. So with this number of Dragons and the upgrade right now he has, I don't think Hero can keep up playing.
No, I saw that the Forge was not spinning for Snow about a minute ago, so it's not like he's getting +2 weapon or +3 anytime soon. And we see that Hero is still stuck on +1 weapon on those Hydras, really lagging on the upgrades. Finally, he has a good engagement with those Hydras, picking off a bunch of goons pretty much for free. Now he's finally going to back off, but it's still 5 base Protoss versus a Zerg that is struggling to get a 4th base. Corsairs are still alive too, so they're always going to be a nuisance. And this is Hero attacking into Storm. He eats a bunch of the Storm too, and this is just his army slowly dwindling down.
I'm also looking at the number of gas that Snow is mining. He's mining the 5 gas, so he's going to be constantly pumping out the number of Dragoons and the high temper as well. So Hero knows that he's behind in this game. He was a semi all-in with the 3 base, with the Hydralisk Lurker. Contain didn't really work well. So Snow is going to win this second game, and the score is going to be 1-1.
I really liked Hero's position when he had the 3 bases running, and then Snow took an insanely greedy 3rd base. Remember, he lost so many Zealots in the early game that I was thinking, okay, well, that's great, you can take a 3rd base, but didn't you not do any damage with the Zealots? How are you really going to deal with these Hydras? Yet somehow, he just barely had enough, able to secure that 3rd base, and something happened in Hero's 3rd base that disrupted his mining. He wasn't able to keep pace with our Protoss player. But that means that we're finally going to get a series in the round of 8, because it's not going to be a 3-0 anymore. In Group A and Group B, or in Day 1 and Day 2, we saw 3-0s. Now we've got a tied score 1-1. So already, that means we're going to get into the 4th and 5th, or at least to the 4th map. So that is exciting that we've got a series on our hands. Now, I'm not going to get debated this time. I think we're going to do the Hot 6 commercial. It always happens after Game 2. And you were telling me that you bought the white Hot 6 earlier today, right?
Yeah, I bought it during the lunchtime, and I bought the Hot 6, the King Force, the white one.
Yeah, the white one. That's also the one that I bought, I think, the first day of ASL. It was pretty good. There's 4 different flavors, as everybody knows. The white, black, blue, and red. They all have a different title. I remember it's like Force. It's like Punch is another one. I think it's the red one. I can't remember the other 2, man.
Next time I'm gonna try out the red one. I want to try out the red one. It might taste like cherry.
It
I don't know.
You know, generally these energy drinks, they seem to have like a raspberry type flavor, and raspberry is one of my favorite fruits, so I enjoy that. I like this music that they've switched up. It's way different than all the other music. Like, we were just in hard rock, and now we've got, like, I don't even know what this is, what type of music this is, like old style. Oh, there you go. We got Into the Rain with the blue one this time. Oh, as soon as the music changed, you know they're about to chug it.
We're gonna hear Psystorm maybe?
Oh yeah, the Psystorm, I forgot about that. I want to hear that Psystorm, man. Well, for Game 3, we're going to have Ultimate Stream, and we've seen crazy games on that so far. Our first game that comes to mind is Mini versus, can't remember who the Zerg was. I just remember I was thinking, like, how is Mini ever going to break this contain? And he ended up stealing that game away. I think, was it Zero? I think it was Queen.
Yeah, Mini versus Queen on an Ultimate Stream. And now, Into the Rain.
There it is. There is
Showing that he's getting all the power from the drink.
Do you know if Into the Rain even plays anymore? You know, I see some really old school players play on or stream sometimes. Like, I know the Marine streams every now and then, Boxer streams every now and then, but I don't. I even saw Go Rush streaming the other day. What about Into the Rain?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if he even plays StarCraft anymore, but he might still play a little bit of a StarCraft maybe from time to time because he needs to cast all those StarCraft game on ASL, so he needs to catch up with those knowledge how players are playing. So he probably is playing.
Yeah, I'm sure he practices at least a little bit. And we do have that side storm again. Oh! We're gonna go into a commercial, I think. Maybe? Well, I could read lips there. He said, Hot 6! I could tell that was said. The guy in the middle. But other than that, I have no idea what they are saying. But as far as this series go, we've got Ultimate Stream, and what's the fourth map? Is it Polaris? Oh, it's Eclipse.
Eclipse.
Oh, commercial. We'll be back. We are back, guys. We're going into game 3 of this series. Third map is going to be Ultimate Stream. Snow ended up tying the score 1-1, so we do have a series on our hands. And again, this is going to be Hero's pick now, so he's decided that he wants this map. Probably saw that game between Queen and Mini and thought, damn, if I can just get hiders and lurkers on the high ground, how difficult, or it's going to be so difficult for Protoss to maneuver and actually bust it and try and get around it. So I think this is a great map choice for him. We'll see what Snow has planned for this. Other than that particular PVZ, I think we saw Shuttle versus Zerg, or right? We saw Shuttle versus someone here, and he picked them apart
Shuttle,
with drops.
that was yeah, that was Shuttle versus Queen, I believe.
Yeah, that was also versus Queen. Alright guys, let's get into game 3. It's gonna be on Ultimate Stream. In the blue in the top right, we have Hero. And then in the bottom left, taking the game on Ascension, it is Snow. So we've got cross spawns here, and all of us are already, I'm liking Snow's chances a lot more. He's going to have easier time getting that third base, and that third base is really close to your natural.
That is definitely close. As soon as Snow realized that Hero is located at that diagonal spot, like the 1 o'clock side, like this, Snow might be able to take that third expansion really quick, just like previous game on an Ascension. And I'm also interested to see how Hero is going to be played in this Ultimate Stream. He chose to play on this Ultimate Stream against Snow, and Larva showed he did taking another spawning location, showing up the old meta where you do the lair tag into Spire, and then pretty much sitting with a 3 base, 4 base with the mass sunken on the high ground. I wonder if Hero is going to do that kind of a playstyle, even though we know that Hero is the type of player who likes to do a Hydraless move and try to end the game ASAP.
Yeah, we already saw Larva go for the defensive style. That's what I would like to see from Hero, because I think that style is just so insanely strong versus Protoss. Now for Protoss side, we did see a lot of shuttle play on this map because the main is very, very wide. It can be very easy to drop off DTs, drop off Zealots. So I expect to see Snow at some point in the mid game start doing that, similar to what Shuttle did. Now we do see Snow scouted to top left, does not find Hero, and again Hero goes for the 12 hatch. Not shocking on this map in particular because rush distances are quite far. He's got the high ground advantage, and again another gateway opener for Snow.
And that is an interesting second pylon right next to the gateway. So there's going to be 2 pylon on the high ground with a little bit of a SimCity narrowing it down, and it's somewhat interesting to see how he's walling off. But we are now seeing how Hero is going to be played. He just checked out. Did he just check out the 11 o'clock side? Oh, he's sending that drone back to the 11 o'clock side. He's just clicked the 11 o'clock side. So we are going to see the old school meta of defensive style, putting down a lot of Sunkens with taking on another spawning location.
Yep, and we already saw Larva show how strong that strategy is. And meanwhile, Nexus is coming down off of, I'm pretty sure that was a second Zealot built before the Nexus. Meanwhile, Probe, Zealot ended up not going to top right, so he just went to top left with that Zealot, and he's going to see this third hatch, and he already knows what Hero is going for. I wonder if he is going to hide this Zealot over there or try and pressure top right. Now Hero's got to be thinking, okay, I know you went gateway expand, where's your Zealot?
Yeah, that is going to be a question for Hero, and Hero will be making a couple of Zerglings because he doesn't know where those Zealots are. He doesn't spot all those Zealots, so he doesn't know where those Zealots are. It might be showing up at the third hatchery whenever he starts to have the number of Zealots ready to move out. And we do know that the rush distance is so far that Hero is also aware of that those Zealots won't be able to arrive to his main base when he was doing the 12 hatchery. So he'll be stopped making after 6 Zerglings. So I like how he's trying to focus on the pumping out all those drones first before making Zerglings.
Zealots do get spotted by the Overlord in the center of the map, and that was a Cybernetics before the Forge. Snow's build is really streamlined. Meanwhile, the Lair was at a decent time, so the Spire should be up in time for the first stairs to come out. But this was a really great opener from Snow so far. Forge going down in his main, so he is going to be getting cannons at some point, and that is, well, it's not as many lings as I actually thought it was. Meanwhile, Stargate has just now started.
Yeah, we can tell the Stargate is really fast because he skipped all those forge and then the photon cannon. Normally, when you play all those standard map, you always have to put down the forge and the cannon first before the cybernetics core. But in this kind of situation, that you can wall off your natural with the couple of pylons with the gateway like this, and then standing with a couple of zealots like this. He just got all those tech already, and still didn't finish that cannon on time. And finally, Snow gets to see the number of Zerglings getting all this metabolic boost ready. The Spire tech is about 50% done, but it is not fast enough to intercept all those Corsair. But Snow did not have enough money to make the Corsair on time.
Yeah, he got +1 weapon on air and ground before building that Sair. Meanwhile, 4th hatch going down for Hero. 5th hatch going to be coming down pretty soon. You can see that Snow was worried about potentially this being more lings than it actually is. He ends up putting down even a 2nd cannon. Meanwhile, we see that top left has started to get a decent amount of drones there. It's about 5. But I don't see 5th hatch. Spire is about to finish though, so the Sair is not going to do any damage.
Yeah, we are finally get to see on the minimap. Hero finally got the 5th hatchery started on the way. Hero is finally spending all those Vespene gas and the mineral here and there. So, and we get to see that Hero started the 2nd extractor already. So might be seeing the same pattern how Hero was doing from the game number 2, that he was making the Mutilus into Mass Scourge. So that could be the strategy he might gonna do once again, and build quite a lot of sunken. So this type of a map, like an alternate stream, when you're taking the natural expansion like this, like another location at the 9 o'clock side, just build mass sunken on the high ground. Then Protoss like Snow really cannot do anything against it.
Yeah, we'll see what he's gonna come up with an answer, or come up as an answer. On maps like Fighting Spirit in the older days where they were going for more, or when they were going for this split map style, I really did like Shuttle's move where he goes really hard on 2 base, comboed with a Reaver, and tries to pop those Sunkens, but with the high ground, that's obviously going to be a bit harder to do. Scourge is just laying there and waiting for this Sair to pop out so he can instantly kill it. I don't know if Snow realizes that there's Scourge sitting. Oh, he does! Somehow those Scourge don't connect, and the Sair for now is going to get away. Meanwhile, that Sunken is already set up and the Lings are set up, so the Zealot move out is not going to do any damage.
You can get to see all those Vespene gas just now disappear. 57 supply count. That means Hero got the number of Amiros ready. We still don't get to see Hydra then yet. Is he just gonna go for like the crazy Zerg build where you do mass Sunkens and then constantly upgrading all those Zergling and go for super fast Hive? Is that what we're gonna be seeing?
I would like to see the fast Hive with the mass Ling or the super fast Ling upgrades. That's a really, really powerful style. I hope we do see that. Meanwhile, 4th base going up for Hero already. It's at the other main, of course. That is a lot of Sairs built up. And remember, he has +1 air, so they're going to hit like a truck. The Zealots are going to be denied. Meanwhile, Mutas are going to come in. And I feel like we saw this last game. The Mutas and the Scourge dealt a lot of damage in the mid game. So Snow has to be careful. That is a lot of Scourge. What? 1 connected and that's it?
Wow, that's a huge mistake by Hero. The number of course Scourges that Hero just lost. He has to get the 3rd extractor once again because he doesn't have any Hydralisk ready. He's not ready to switch to another tech. So it's kind of forcing Hero to constantly making those number of Scourge once again and forcing him to spend all those Vespene gas for something else.
Look at that 3rd Nexus timing. 8:40 3rd Nexus. That's crazy. Protoss really has to be confident in their play to be going for a 3rd Nexus like that. And look at the powering of Hero. This is going to be 8 or 9 hatches already for him. He's got 2 or 3 macro hatches going up at top left. Did we see Hive started in the main? I don't know.
I don't think I see the box of the Queen's Nest side, so I don't think there's a Hive started yet. But Hero might be just using a couple of mirrors and not gonna go for 11 mirrors just like a previous game. Maybe he's gonna play a little bit of passive here with the number of mirrors that he has. So he might be just powering up all those number of drones he really needs in the early and mid game, and slowly changing into super fast type with maybe a lurker switch. We still don't get to see. Okay, we get to see the Hydra, and the Hydra speed is already done, so it is not going to be the lurker yet.
You know, I don't know if Snow actually knows that the 4th base has been taken at top left. Obviously, you're assuming that, but you know, Hero could have been just building units at this point. That is a lot of Scourge, that's a lot of Sayers. With the cannon support, Snow should be able to fend this off. I would like to see Snow put down a second Forge. I didn't see that anytime we got to look into the main or the natural. I would really like to see him ramp up those upgrades. We can see that Hero does not have a single upgrade on his Hydras just yet.
Wait, I just remember something that in the previous of old PBZ meta where you're taking another spawning location into 8 hatchery mass Hydraless. Is that what he's planning to do? Because we still don't get to see the Queen's Nest started. He started to get quite a lot of Hydraless and still no lurker upgrade yet. Well, we see some of a minimap. The box at the main base of a Hero's main base, I think that might be the Queen's Nest with the additional evolution chamber.
Well, I love this move with the Zealot. It forced the Mutas to follow that Zealot all the way across the map, and you can see that the shuttle was behind the whole time. And now he's going to go for a drop. Overlord spots it, but every single unit is out of position. Luckily for Hero, he notices it. It has speed, and those Hydras were at the natural, so they're going to get here in time and be able to deal with this DT. But already 3 kills, 4? I think pretty much 4 or 5 is the number you need for it to be worth it to get a DT or to lose that DT. Meanwhile, he loses the shuttle too, but that is a lot of Sayers.
Oh, the Corsair react on time. That's a nice save by Snow. And I like how Snow was able to take that 3rd expansion really fast. And he's gonna be gearing up all those number of High Templars and a Drugan maybe. And Hero is in a little bit of trouble here. His army kind of got stuck at the 10 o'clock side, so having that little amount of Hydraless is not enough to hold this Zealot and the High Templar, but that's a little bit of waste of Storm on the Muta Switch, but he will eventually clear all those army. That's nicely done by Snow.
Well, this is a bit deceiving because you look at supplies, dead even pretty much. 3 base versus 4 base. But where does Snow attack? Like, he can't attack the 3rd base, he can't attack the natural, there's so many cannons there.
Wait.
Oh, there's the support bay, and we saw double shuttle, so this might be a big Reaver play, maybe, or it could just be non-stop, I guess, shuttles into the main or something like that, if I make it wild.
I have a feeling it might be the speed shuttle and going for some kind of like a Zealot drop or High Temper drop and kind of distracting Hero to pull back some of the army inside of the main base and distract him as much as he can, and slowly taking more expansion towards the bottom right side.
Well, when Snow sees that the 4th base, not only is it up and running, it has macro hatches and it has really good saturation. He is not happy to see that. And you know, honestly, when I see Zergs at this position where they have 4 or 5 bases, they've got insane econ, they've got pretty good upgrades. It is really hard for Protoss to do anything. I'm really worried for Snow at this point. We see that a couple shuttles got loaded up. Zerg did not have vision of that. Oh, a Hydra spotted, and now he knows what the gig is. And you see there's a giant blob on the right side of the map that may intercept this.
That is quite a lot of army. About 4 groups of army rotated to the right side, and Snow decided not to follow and go for the attack at the frontal expansion. But at the same time, there's going to be Corsair clearing all those vision at the top left side and going to drop. Is that going to be... Oh, that is a Reaver inside.
Well, this is a pretty decent drop, but other than the Reaver, there's not much. I mean, there's like 1 Storm and there's a couple Zealots, but Zerg should be able to clean this up. Meanwhile, Zerg obliterated that 4th base, and you can see supply is still dead even. Zerg versus Protoss, and that's always a great scenario for the Zerg. Also, he didn't lose any drones, I don't think, and he loses the shuttle, and he loses the Reaver. And I did see that Hive completed in the main of Hero, so he's going to have all those powerful upgrades kicking in pretty soon. And he's also got Ling upgrades already.
I just saw the Protoss upgrade. I kind of dislike that he got the Armor 2 upgrade instead of getting +2 attack, because when you start having the same upgrade as what Zerg has, like the Zerg armor, he's not going to be able to two-shot the Zerglings or whatsoever. And that's a nice storm drop at the 10 o'clock expansion.
Yeah, unfortunately he stormed his own Templar before the other Templar could get another storm off. He could have wiped out that entire drone line. But does it really matter? There's so many hatcheries that he could have rebuilt the drones anyways. You can see that the Hydras and the Lynx are shredding these Zealots, and as he mentioned, no +2 is really hurting him since the Zerg has matching armor upgrades, or matching armor to the weapon upgrade. That is 10 hatches now for this Zerg player. Just ridiculous macro.
Hero is finally getting all those upgrades. +2 attack for the Hydra. The Lurker is going to do 24 damage every single attack with the Lurker. Then Snow is trying to do some amount of drop harassment here and there. Will he be able to find some great spot?
He wants to plague those Sares. He has a Defiler ready and waiting. Another Templar drop gets only 3 drones. There it is. There's the plague. He hits every single Sare, including the shuttle. That's going to make them so easy to pick off once some type of chaos happens in the center of the map. Meanwhile, Zealot and Goons are clearing out those Lurkers. Snow desperately needs to get another base.
Nice pull, pulling all of the drone, not getting the high temper storm, but Snow is not really spending his money really well. He's kind of stuck at 3 base mining versus 5 base Zerg, and Hero is about to get max soon. So when Hero starts to get max, he's gonna be doing all those what is it, like the Zerg rush of like pretty much like a drag attack.
Yeah, the box A move, and he finds a couple of straggler Templars. Hero is almost maxed out, so is Snow, but slight supply lead for Hero at this point. And with the Defilers out on the field now, where he can just put the ketchup on a blob like that non-stop, this Protoss army all of a sudden is so much weaker. And still, the Nexus is not up at the 4th base for Snow. His main and Nat are going to be mined out any moment now.
I like how Snow is still keeping up the supply count really well and going for the harassment here and there. And he still has that number of courses still alive. So that's gonna be about like a 20 supply wasted for the harassment. Okay, that must be that's not the second forge. Never mind. So I thought he was upgrading with a double forge, but never mind. But Hero is finally saving up all those money and slowly moving for the drag attack here.
Another big plague onto the majority of the Zealots, and this is going to be an attempt from Hero to deny this 4th base again. You can see how fast those Zealots die. And there is a Defiler with this army. If he casts Dark Swarm, well, I guess that is a really tiny choke. The Hydras take a lot of damage. The Reaver's going to get dropped off. Oh, it gets a decent amount of kills already, but the shuttle's taken down. Meanwhile, there is a DT there that he doesn't realize, and that's going to start swiping down all of these drones.
Hero definitely forgot about that 12 o'clock expansion. There's still a Dark Temple. Finally, maybe he realized, or he didn't realize. He's not really paying attention. He's constantly losing the number of drones.
He kills a lot of drones there, but he loses like 5 Sares at the same time. Lurkers in the center of the map. A storm would be amazing. It would blanket, a lot of them and get free kills. But he doesn't have any storm, it looks like. And that is a lot of Hydras moving into position again. Lurkers on Burrow. He's going to get a flank. He even picks off the shuttle in the back that had a Reaver in it.
That is a still nice storm and trying to keep up the game really well. But Hero's money is insanely high. If Hero starts to spend all those money, and if you remember correctly, he has about 10 hatcheries maximum, or 11 hatchery included from the center of the expansion. So that is going to be a massive Zerglings Hydralist with the Lurker, and coming a couple of Defilers here and there, and using Plague everywhere.
And now that he's eliminated half of the Sares, I would really like to see Hero go for a drop, because Snow's not thinking about that at all. He's thinking about, I just have to defend my 4th base. And lurkers are going to get in position. The probes are still mining. Probes are going to fall if those lurkers focus them down. But this might just be the Nexus falling. There's nothing to engage. Wow, that is so many lurkers. The storms are blanketing them, but there's still just so many of them.
Yeah, those number of lurkers affects G-Tank impairment with Protoss is just pretty much sitting and pretty much taking down the Nexus for free. And that's a nice harassment. I wonder how many kills he got at the 11 call site. That's still a good harassment, but Hero still has a lot of minerals saved up. He'll be pumping out lots of drones soon.
Yeah, he's got a 50 supply lead now. He still has the 5 bases. He lost 10 drones at top left. But remember, he has 10 hatches. He can build 30 drones at once if he wants. We see that the 4th base was knocked down for Snow. He's going to have to rebuild that Nexus. But he is almost broke. He's sitting at only 100 minerals. He's only mining his 3rd base at this point. And meanwhile, Hero's still sitting pretty. There it is. There's the GG. So Hero, what a beast. Killer macro. He wasn't down supply almost the entire game. And Snow is 1 game away from being eliminated.
I like how Snow brought up with the new plan using Speed Shuttle, Reaver, and Storm Drop here and there, but all of his plan he really wanted to do in this mid and late game transitioning didn't really work against Hero because Hero was on the top with the macro and constantly defending that drop harassment. So that was a little unfortunate with Snow's decision making and not really spending his money really well in this game number 3.
Snow had some good harassment. Like every time he went for a drop, he got a lot of drone kills. The problem is Hero just had so many drones. I wish we could see the replay and see the drone count. I would guess he was probably around like 70. His macro was nuts, just absolutely off the charts. And he just brought it to Snow and ran him over. Snow really misstepped with that armor upgrade, as he mentioned. To have +1 weapon versus +1 armor, that is really, really devastating to the Protoss player. You know, they waste so much time trying to kill off the Lings, and the Hydra is never going to trade effectively. And now Hero 1 game away from making it into the round of 8, or round of 4 I mean, and this guy, he looks so good this ASL. So we're going to go into a quick break and then we'll find out if Hero can close it out. Alright, we are back. We're going to be getting into Game 4. This could be potentially the last game of the day, simply because of how well Hero is playing. Looks unstoppable once his macro gets going. And Snow's going to have something special planned. It's going to be Eclipse. And, you know, a lot of Terran players struggle taking the third base on Eclipse, of course, in PvT. I feel like that's going to be a similar scenario for Snow here, because Zerg can just flood so many units at you, and third base is quite far away.
That is absolutely true. So that means if Hero is not able to finish the game off against Snow in the early or mid game, Snow might be able to go for the late game, transitioning into like a 4-base Protoss versus 4-base Zerg, or even 5-base Zerg. He might be able to keep up the game on an Eclipse. That could be the reason why Snow chose the map for Eclipse for the fourth game. So I wonder how Snow is going to be played against Hero.
So players are ready. We're about to get into Game 4. Maybe Hero can close it out. You know, we've seen Snow go for the Gateway expand every single time. Wonder if he's going to switch it up here, maybe see a Forge or a 12 Nexus. Let's see what he decides on. This is really his last chance. If he doesn't win here, he's out, and his ASL run is going to be over. So in the top right in the blue, 1 game away, it is Hero. And in the bottom left, he needs your energy, guys, otherwise he's going to be eliminated. It is Snow. And we have seen sometimes cannon rushes on this map. Now, I don't know if I've really seen it ever be successful, cannon rushing top right, but it is a potential opener that we could see.
And we're also seeing Hero spawn at the top right side, and we can see he is trying to focus on the mineral boost on the very top drone. He's constantly pressing C, the return cargo, manually mineral boosting that at the very top one, and we now get to see Snow is moving out with the first probe. We gotta look at this Snow's decision making, whether he's gonna go for the gateway first, or he might even go for the 12 Nexus first, like in this kind of situation. Oh, never mind, he's moving out the probe again, so this is going to be a gateway opening, just like the all-door game that he has done.
I would have liked to see the 12 Nexus, but instead it's just going to be another 9 gate, and this time around 12 Nexus would have been punished because it's an overpull. So this time around, this was a smart move to go for the gateway. You know, a lot of times when players go for a build like 2-3 games in a row, they just continue to go with the same build over and over, and we've seen Hero already go for that 12 hatch 3 games now. I really thought we were going to just continuously see it for the entire series, so finally there's going to be a bit of a shakeup. Drone does miss that probe, and he looks like he was going to top middle. That's his intentions of putting his second hatchery. He's not even going to worry about taking his nat right now.
I'm kind of interested of Hero's decision making over here, that instead of taking the natural first, he takes the third expansion at the 12 o'clock side first. So that is somewhat interesting of how Hero planned it in this game. And that probe harassment was quite a lot of doing damage.
Yeah, I think that damage drone is on the bottom patch, and Hero's going to need to be careful because there was already a game. I don't remember who the probe or who the Protoss was, but remember a probe got a kill sitting behind the minerals and just actually shot something over them and got a kill. So definitely you need to be careful with that probe. Meanwhile, first Zealot is moving out. It has gone unspotted by the Overlord and heading towards the top middle hatchery.
No, couldn't really block that third hatchery, or I should say the natural expand much as it can, but we know that Hero has made only 2 Zerglings maximum, so with that first Zealot out on the map by Snow, he might be able to buy some time and force Hero to make more of a Zerglings, and we can get to see Hero's main base that his Extractor is still not done, so that means he has gone for the 3 hatchery first Extractor. So Hero's expansion is fast and will have quite a lot of drone, but his tech won't be that fast.
That is a decent amount of Lings coming out. The Zealot ended up turning around, did not go to that third base. And of course, Hero doesn't know that. You can see that Lings are moving all over the map, trying to find out where that Zealot is. Meanwhile, both of them are just sitting outside of the ramp. This time,
we can see Hero's not minding the Vesping gas.
Yep, he pulled off of gas, so he went into Ling speed, I think, right? I don't imagine this being a lair.
And I'm kind of want to point out that Snow is not going for the cybernetics core first. This time he will be putting down the forge first and then a simulator. So this is somewhat looking great for Snow's decision making, and it is working really well. Oh, I thought Hero was gonna do Zergling rush, but never mind, he's making more Zergling. So this is going to be like a Siren Zerg about the old meta where you do getting the speed Zergling into mass hatchery, and that's what we're gonna be seeing in this game.
Well, speed has not kicked in just yet. Snow comes in with probes and sees that there's another handful or a decent... Well, did he see those 6 Lings? I think he just saw 2. But when he comes in again, he's going to be confused. Why are there so many Lings here? Speed now does kick in, and Snow knows what's going on. Now you see instantly he repositions his Zealot. The cannon was already almost done, and this Ling attack really shouldn't do that much damage. I think this is just going to be completely stopped, and this is just wasted Lings that could have been drones.
Yeah, I think Hero was thinking that Zealots were out on the map and hide us somewhere and try to somehow get those Zealot at the 12 o'clock set. But Hero misread Snow's intention, so that is kind of unfortunate for Hero that he had to make quite a lot of Zerglings for nothing, and he didn't get much of a value from there. And we just saw Hero's natural. He still doesn't have those natural expansion saturated. He's now finally pumping out all those drones.
Stargate is going to complete, and because Hero ended up going for speed first and then pulled off of gas, lair is nowhere near done. We don't even know if he started a lair. Most likely Hydrogen got plopped down somewhere. Should be intending to fend this off with just Hydras. Colony going down. I still don't see Hydrogen. Is he gonna just defend with Spores?
He might be. Yeah, we still do not see the evolution chamber.
Evolution chamber is at top middle.
Oh, okay. So if there's an evolution chamber at the top middle, then yeah, I think he might gonna do that the old style. In maybe it was like in 2014-15, where Zerg players do get the Zergling speed first and get the armor carapace with the evolution chamber and defend that Corsair harassment with the Spore. I haven't seen this strategy for like more than 5 years, and now Hero is pulling out this old strategy against Snow, and Snow really needs to read what Hero is planning to do.
Well, you can see Hero is trying to catch up in the worker count after building all those Lings that really didn't help him at all. Meanwhile, Snow's just going about business as usual. He's got a Citadel done. Templar Archive should be coming in soon. He's building up that Zealot count. It's at 7. Lings wanted to surround that, but decide that that's not going to be enough Lings to trade favorably, so he ends up pulling off. Sares are going to pick off an Overlord, not going to supply block Hero just yet, but he is in a dangerous situation. The Sares haven't confirmed that this is Spore follow-up. I think if Snow saw that this is Spores, he may just try and take a third base or plop down a ton of gateways and go for a bust.
We still see Hero making a lot of drones at the 12 o'clock, the third expansion. And the overlords are pretty much stacked and hogging the defense tower with the one Spore colony. Okay, Snow will be able to pick up one of the overlords, but that wasn't a big trade for Snow. Finally adding more gateway at the main base.
Templar Archive about to finish, so we're going to see a couple of Templar pop out pretty soon, start banking up that energy. Meanwhile, Zealots are moving across the map, still no speed just yet. He's got about 8 Zealots there, plus 1 weapon is done. This is 6 Hatch Hydras. We can see that the Sim City is pretty good at the natural and third base. So really this is just a move to force actual units out from Zerg. Don't let them drone harder than they should have. You can see that there's basically a 25 supply lead for Snow right now, but not going to be able to get much damage done with these Zealots, like I mentioned. And I see a lot of gateways going down in his main.
That is definitely a lot of gateways, and still did not get the third Nexus on time. So it looks like Snow is trying to squeeze all those Vespene gas and mineral with the 2-base mining. So he... Oh, what? Okay, he just killed his own cannon. Maybe the Dark Temple got stopped by his own cannon. So that was a little unfortunate for Snow. But I want to point out that Snow is right now not planning to get the third Nexus as soon as possible, just like the previous game. So this is going to be a long run with the 2-base mining and pumping out lots of army here.
We see that Hero is slowly closing the gap. It's 100 supply to 83 at this point. Good drone saturation at the third base and the natural. He's got his econ really rolling. Meanwhile, Snow has had his econ rolling for quite a bit. Still no probe sent to mid left to try and take that third base. DT doing a good job to just wipe out the majority of these lings. Meanwhile, we can see that Snow doesn't have as many Sears as we've seen in the earlier games. He's got, I think, just 3. But he is moving across the map with already 3 Templars, and they do have Storm available.
Okay, we can get to see Hero's upgrade. I was thinking that he will get the Armor Carapace upgrade, but he got the Hydralisk +1 attack, so these number of Hydralisks will do quite a lot of great damage on it. But Snow has to be really careful with those number of high tempers he right now has. He can't really waste the storm. That's a one nice storm, but so the second high temper that he had, the Snow had, he didn't use that energy. So the remaining high tempers do not have any energies, and Snow is in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, luckily he has a couple more Templars behind, but they are at 66 energy, so no Storm available just yet. Meanwhile, Snow is taking his third base now, but those Sares that got an Overlord kill ended up supply blocking Hero, and look at all that idle larva that he cannot use. He's got 1,500 minerals, about 500 gas. I don't see a Spire anywhere, right? Like, it's just pure Hydras at this point.
It is definitely pure Hydra. Maybe even get some couple of lurkers in the mid game, because you can see Hero is mining the third gas. He has been running that third gas for a long time. Finally, Snow has been putting down the third Nexus at the 9 o'clock side. So this is going to be a super long game, and Hero needs to be aware of that. If this game starts to go really long and cannot destroy Snow's expansion each time when he takes, Hero will fall behind in the late game in this type of a small map that he's facing.
And we see that Lurkers are coming out. No Spire, so he's going to use all that gas into Lurkers. I think that the Sare spotted it, so the Observer should be coming out pretty soon. Meanwhile, I think that is a hatchery being built at top middle, so Hero's intending to take a 4th base up there. Yeah, DT spots it all, so he's just going to hide in the corner, wait for his moment to jump on those drones. Meanwhile, he's got drops available. He's going to go for a Lurker drop at the natural. There is very minimal detection. He needs to attack at the same time to draw the attention away from Snow so he can pop all these probes. Oh, still Snow doesn't notice.
That probe dying, and I think this might be a turning game and trigger Snow to tilt in this mid game, because Hero has quite a lot of a saved up bank, and the number of lurkers that he right now had, he already got that +2 attack upgrade done. So the lurkers are doing great amount of damage here and there. Another 2 lurkers unloaded. Ooh.
Oh my god, that would have been amazing timing. Oh, the probes are still clumps. Okay, he does manage to move them. Lurkers get maybe 1 or 2 probe kills, but saving those probes was crucial for Snow, because that probably would have put him down to around 25 workers in total or less. Meanwhile, Hero continuing to push the issue. He moves in with more Hydras and Lurkers, but he's eating a lot of the storms. And even though the supplies are close, remember, Snow lost a lot of probes, so he has a really strong standing army. But look how much blue there is on the map.
Yeah, I don't see not much of a remaining. We can see Hero is now overwhelming with the number of a supply count, and Hydralisks are moving forward, constantly picking up Dragon and Archon here and there. Even though Snow is running the third base at the 9 o'clock site, this is pretty much not looking great for Snow because he has to remake all those probes that he has lost. And he's still not mining the natural. Okay, he finally transferred the probe at the natural, but this is going to take him some time to recover.
Yeah, he's gonna slowly be able to build up that probe count, but Hero's on his doorstep morphing so many more lurkers. DT only gets 1 kill at top middle, and then it has shown itself by attacking that hatchery. Meanwhile, another drop got loaded up. It wants to drop into that third base again. This is so many lurkers set up at that third base that how do you really bust this as Protoss? Okay, oh wow, he's just gonna doom drop on top of these goons, and Templar, I don't know about that because there's a lot of storms available.
That wasn't a great drop by Hero, but it is okay for him because he still have lots of banks saved up. He knows that he's on an advantage side. He knows that even if he wastes his army at a 9 o'clock side, he knows that he kind of forced Snow to lose all those mining time and also destroy a couple of defense stars, like a couple of cannons here and there. And these army of Snow right now has isn't that really great to fight against the number of lurkers to contain.
And again, we see that Snow ended up going for that +2 armor. I didn't see if Carapace is on those Hydralisks just yet, but Hero doing work with these Hydras and Lurkers. But Snow has evened up the supply now, and he should have gotten his probe count up to a decent amount at the natural by now, so he may start staging a comeback. Meanwhile, that DT has 9 kills and ends up getting away. So for now, Snow seems to be stabilizing a little bit.
Yeah, it is still not looking great for Snow. This is not unlike. This is not going to be look the same as game number 2, where Snow was on a defending side and trying to secure the third expansion.
Lurker in the main is running in there.
That has 10 kill.
Yeah, that's what got dropped at the natural and ended up being repositioned in the main, and he just left it there. Now he draws a lot of the units back, and there's a drop into the natural again, but there's a cannon. But if he can get off 2 shots, oh my god, he's gonna get it. He gets 9 kills with that single lurker. That was definitely worth.
It is more than worth, and Snow knows that he can't really recover from the game, but he can't really type GG because he really wants to win this game. But I don't know what Hero can really do.
Well, Hero, he has so many Hydras and Lurkers. The third base is very well defended by Snow. Drop is not going to work there. A bust is not going to work there. I would like to see Hero just set up a bunch of like 3 Lurkers on the third base ramp and then just try and bust this natural. There's not that much defense there, really.
Yeah, Hero definitely has all those minerals saved up. He will be spending soon, but I'm not sure about this decision making by Snow.
I thought Hero had a drop loaded up near the third base, but now that I'm looking at the minimap, I don't think so. Supplies are getting a bit closer for Snow, but oh, that's a great storm hitting a lot of the Hydras. This is what Snow needs to start bringing back this game, but you can see other than the Templars there, it's just a handful of goons left over. The Hydras will chew through this army very easily. There goes 1 Templar, 2 Templar. Oh my gosh, these units are getting eaten up.
Yeah, I think this is going to be GG.
There's just so much Zerg. Look at the supplies plummet now. It was even a minute ago. Now Snow's down 35 supply. Forge is going to fall. That means that upgrade's going to get canceled. Cannon's gone. Zealots can't engage this army anymore. There's no more AoE. You can see Snow's even repositioned his army from the third base because he realizes that he's about to get busted at his net.
Yeah, more reinforcement, and Hero is constantly changing all those rally point towards to the center. So he will be having another 2 groups of Hydralisks ready at the middle of the map and constantly pressuring Snow. Snow probably knows that he can't really win this game, but he's trying his best to keep up the game and show some great games. Very professional mind and keeping up the game here. But It's not looking pretty.
Yeah, the storms are fantastic. It just doesn't matter though. Again, Hero has like 9 hatches, so much production, so much blue streaming across the map. Now getting doubled in supply. Snow taps out, and Hero, he's gonna take the series 3-1. Not only is this guy a killer in ZVT, which we've seen in the earlier stages of ASL, now he takes out one of the strongest Protoss players these days, and Hero's looking like he might end up going all the way to the finals this season.
I'm impressed how well Hero is playing after he finishes military service. Last time, the highest career that he has made was like in ASL Season 3 or 4, I believe, and he got a 2nd place. And now we can get to see him in a semi-final in the ASL Season 11.
Yeah, and he's going to be going up against... Oh, we don't know yet because we still have to wait for day 4 to complete. That's going to be between... Let me look again. I've already forgotten.
Larva.
Yeah, Larva and Rush. Yeah, so he's going to have either a Zerg, a ZVZ down there, or he's going to have a ZVT. We already saw Hero kill Rush. So if they play again, Rush is going to have... He's going to be very scared to play versus Hero because Hero is killing it these days. And looks like Hero's going to be getting his jacket, and then we're going to be going into an interview with our winner.
ASL 시즌 11 8강 3번째 경기 모두 함께 하셨습니다.
We are now just finished with the ASL Season 11 day, round of 8, day 3.
조일장 선수 만나
Hero
보겠습니다.
is going to
축하드립니다.
be the one making it into semi-final in this day 3. And congratulations to Hero.
시드권을 확보하셨어요.
And
장윤철 선수를
it's
상대로
been a long
10대
time that
1이라는
you made it into
스코어로.
semi-final.
역시 프로토스
You
다전제하면 다시 한번 조일장 선수의
You
강함을 좀
beat Snow 3-1.
느껴볼만한 경기력이었던 것 같은데
And impressed.
오랜만에
A lot of
강하게
people
올리신
are
소감 어떠세요?
a lot of people are probably
일단 오늘 솔직히
expect that you will be making it into
자신이 좀
semi-final
없었어요.
because
컨트롤
everyone
안
expects you to
좋고
play really well against Protoss.
근데 한 경기 한 경기 그래도 좀
You
열심히
made
하다
it. You
보니까
made it through. So
이겼던 것 같아서
congratulations.
기분이 너무 좋아요.
So Hero
오늘
said,
자신이 없으셨던 거 치고는 환자기를
with
정말
the mindset,
잘해오셨다라는
Hero
느낌이
said he
들었거든요.
is
뭐
not
초반에 공격적인
confident
찌르기,
to play against
그리고
Protoss,
스타팅 이후의
but
운영, 그리고 전략적인 드랍.
he's
정말
so
보여주실 수 있는
like
건
that
다
the
보여주셨던 것
result of
같은데
this tonight's
준비
match,
과정이 어땠는지도 좀
even
들어봐야 할
though
것 같아요.
사실
all the plans did not
준비를
really
해가지고
work
온 건
well.
아닌데 이제 하다
He's
보니까
saying
이제
that-
이렇게 하면 좋겠다라는 생각이 들더라고요. 그래가지고 좀 매판 좀 즉흥적으로 했는데 2세트 말고는
He
좀
didn't really
잘했던
use
것
the
같아요. 네.
strategies that he did in the
오늘
practice
뭐
games.
이긴 경기들을
when he was
모두 다
preparing.
잘 해주셨습니다만
So all those build that he has done
정말
during this
좋았다라는
round
말씀을
of
좀
eight,
드리고 싶어요. 뭐
he kind of
질럿이
brought up
움직이는 길목마다 잘라주는 것도 그렇고
brought up a strategy,
정찰로 활용해주는
whatever
것도
it feels,
그렇고
whatever it
좀
just came into his
프로토스가
mind.
준비할 때 이런 저글링의 활용에 대해서도 좀 생각을 하셨나요?
사실 요즘에 원게이트
So the
플레이가
caster is asking about the Zergling.
저글링이 제일 중요하더라고요. 초반 저글링.
네.
저글링 어떻게
So they're
쓰냐에
talking
따라서
about
게임 판도가 많이
the build
달라져가지고
order in the beginning
최대한
where
저글링을 좀잘
Protoss
쓰려고
goes for the
노력했었어요.
gateway into
두 번째
expansion
세트가
and
좀
buying some
아쉽게
time with the
느껴지실 것
Zealot.
같은데
And
이건
here is
정말
also
장윤철 선수가
talking about that
너무 드라마틱한 수비를
saving the number of
했다라고
the
좀 말할
Zerglings
수밖에
and
없을 것
how well
같아요.
네.
경기를
how well
하면서도
he has
이
to use
트리플이
those
안
Zerglings
뚫릴
to buy some
리가
time
없는데
or
사실
trade
생각이
those
정말 많이
Zealots
드셨을
in
것
order
같아요.
to
사실 게임을
catch up the
하면서는 이제
macro game.
왜 안 밀리지? 이런 생각을 했는데 끝나고
네.
생각하니까 아 이게 왜 밀려야 되지? 약간 이런 생각이 들더라고요.
아.
제가 좀 게임 내에서 좀 잘못 판단했던 것 같고 약간
So
좀
Hero is talking
게임은
about
제가 지는
I think Hero is talking about
시나리오였던 것 같아요.
game number
네
2.
번째 세트는
He thought that he was able to
진짜
finish the
하셨어요.
game
그럼에도
with the
불구하고
lurker and
뭐
Hydroless
점수가
contained,
밀리거나
but
해처리를 덜 펼치거나
he didn't
그런
expect
모습이
that
전혀
Snow would push him
없으셨어요.
back.
어떻게 좀
And
운영에 대해서
when he was
준비를
watching the replay,
해오셨는지도 되게
he kind of
궁금하더라고요.
admits that he shouldn't be
울티메이트
making that
스트림이라는
mistake.
맵이 이제 스타팅 운영하기 굉장히 좋더라고요. 그래서
So they're now talking about the game number 3, the ultimate stream. It is really nice to do taking on other spawning location
좀 판짜기를 그렇게 해와서
and go for the turtle style.
네 번째 세트도
And that's what he
쉽지
planned.
않은 방향으로 좀 흘러가고 있다고 느껴졌습니다. 이걸 어떻게 풀까라고 생각을 했는데 기습적으로 좀 럴커 드랍을 시도하면서 약간 상대에게
So
다리를
the caster is talking about the game number 4 that
그때 럴커
we were
드랍을
not
좀
sure
어떻게
what
생각을
you
하셨나요?
were doing in game number 4 because he wasn't getting the spire attack nor Myrtleus or any other build than Hydralus. But then we were all surprised that you went for the lurker drop and start killing off all those probes.
했는데 잘 통했던 것 같아요.
So Hero is talking. Hero said that whenever he's giving up that spire attack and just stuck on a Hydra attack only, or the Hydra and a lurker only, he decided to go with the lurker drop. And whatever just came into my mind, whatever it just came into his mind, that drop plan really worked really well for him.
또 7판 4선이잖아요.
네,
So the
사실은
caster is
제가
talking about that
굉장히 안 좋아해요. 빌드 갈리는 걸 너무 싫어해가지고.
what he's going to do in semi-final, it's going to be best of 7 series. And Hero is saying that he doesn't want to play ZVZ in semi-final. He doesn't want to play against Larva because there's a lot of a mind game that he has to play, and it is very stressful.
또 어떤 모습을 보여주실지 굉장히 궁금해집니다. 4강을 기대하고 또 기다리실 팬분들에게도 한 말씀 해주시죠.
Any last word to your fans?
4강
First of all,
제일 어려울 수도 있겠다고 생각이 들었어요.
Hero was thinking that
너무 좋아가지고
quarterfinal would have been hardest, like the hardest match for him. But he feels great that he made it into semi-final.
결승이잖아요. 그래가지고
And Hero is saying that if he wins in semi-final, he will be making it into final. So he wanna make it into final stage and win the ASL tournament this season.
자, 이렇게 해서 조일장 선수와 장윤철 선수의 8강 세 번째 대결에서 승리하고 4강에 진출한 조일장 선수와 함께 이야기
Now we're
나눴습니다.
just done with the interview with
about micro, and we know that Hero's just a killer so far in the ASL and with any type of macro game. So if Rush comes out, Hero might be the favorite to go all the way to the finals, and that is a bit of a shocker to me because I really like, almost every other player over Hero, but he's really surprising me so far in this ASL. What are your thoughts on Hero's performance so far? Do you think he can go all the way?
I think he can because he has beaten Rush 2-0 in round of 16. So if Rush beats Larva in quarterfinal and make it into semifinal, he will be playing the revenge match against Hero. But Hero already has beaten Rush before, so he might be already having all those confidence to play against Rush once again. And I think it's going to be looking great. And we are now seeing the next week of the coming up Tuesday, it is going to be Larva versus Rush. I like those map choice.
Yeah, we've got Ultimate Stream, Eclipse, Ascension, Fighting Spirit, Polaris, Rhapsody, Hidden Track, and what is the other map that got vetoed?
It wasn't veto, it's just players are choosing the map.
Or, well, I guess not picked is what I mean. What is the other remaining map I'm trying to see? Nobody picked Polypoid. I don't know how you don't pick Polypoid because that's such an amazing map.
Hidden Track and something.
Yeah, Polypoid.
Oh yeah, Polypoid, yeah.
But this should be a great series. I really am kind of sad we don't get to see Hidden Track because, as I've mentioned multiple times, whenever I see Rush play that map versus a Zerg, he's every man. everywhere. He's just actually everywhere. He is just brutal on that map, but I guess neither player likes it for some reason. It is nice to see that Ultimate Stream got picked. We're going to see a slugfest on there, I imagine. But who do you got for this particular match? You think Larva can take down Rush?
Judging by the online performance, Rush has been leading the score like a 70% win rate against Larva. So if Larva is not holding back all those the memory, or I should say PTSD from those online performance, then I think Larva might be able to perform really well in this quarterfinal, because he made it through into quarterfinal in round of 16 as the first player. So he has the map choice for the first and then third. He chose the Ultimate Stream. I forgot what the map was for the third one, but yeah, if we start snowballing from the first game and start leading the score from there, I think Larva will have the confidence enough to move into game number 2 and maybe also win the game number 2 as well. And it might be giving some trouble for Rush to keep up the pace.
Yeah, Larva is one of my favorite Zerg players. I always root for him, but I don't think he's made it to the finals of ASL just yet, so maybe this is going to be his season. As everybody knows, we know that Rush makes his ID ASL Champ Rush every new ladder season, so maybe this is the time that we may actually see ASL 11 Champion Rush. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back on Tuesday. We're going to find out who's going to round out the semifinals. So we will see you there.